What is going on, guys? Welcome into the Frogs and Friends portfolio update. We got with us here our frog. We got Adam. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Another interesting week for Bitcoin, at least.
Yeah. This is we're doing this on a Tuesday, so we had the up there with the negotiations of Trump and Iran this weekend. Things are looking certainly better than last weekend or last week, I would say. And we had a little bit of a pump here in the morning, and then now we're kind of just plateauing and going down to what 60 76 it was just at before we started, or 75.
Yeah,
So
just under 76.
so yeah, we're going back and forth here, but yeah, that's to be expected. But Adam, anything going on here in the income world for you?
Well, looks like semiconductors are absolutely killing it right now.
Oh yeah.
So look at our chippy position.
Yes, here.
Started at 66. We're at 81.56 today. That is showing no signs of slowing down. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you want to kind of talk to one of the points there as to why maybe Chippy isn't slowing down with the Elon news.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things, and I don't know if anyone knows who Jordy Vischer is, but he's done some really good analysis on the semiconductor world, kind of what's going on in that in the AI data center build out side of things. But recently, I think like 2 weeks ago, he changed his position. I think he pulled his positions out of a lot of the semiconductor companies, out of Micron. He pulled out of Nvidia because he's worried about bottlenecks, specifically geared towards energy. And so a lot of us in our circle were like, well, he's got a point. You know, if there's not enough energy, which means there's not enough demand. Well, there's plenty of demand for chips, but if you can't set up a data center because you don't have the energy to run it,
Hmm.
then you're going to have a little bit of a backlog. Well, that doesn't seem to be stopping because this recent deal with Tesla and Anthropic, where Anthropic was suffering because they kept basically pulling tokens from their users because they didn't have the compute power.
Hmm.
So they made a deal with Tesla, which was their Colossus 1 or Colossus 2, and rented the entire data center. So it's a 220,000 GPUs, specifically to Anthropic, which I think was being sold for $1.5 billion a month,
Hmm.
which is insane for Tesla. But it seems like Elon's not having the same problem the rest of these data centers are having with regards to power, because I believe what he did for Colossus was set up his own uh, gas generator for this site, and he's doing Colossus 2, and I think he's doing the same thing. So he's scaling his own energy. Um, so nothing's stopping him. So if this perceived bottleneck um, takes place within other areas of these data center build outs, well, Elon's just kind of like sitting there saying, well, hey, I'll rent this stuff out to you. You don't even have to build it out.
Yeah. He
So
has he
that,
has like the scale. He has like everything that everyone kind of
yeah,
needs at this
it's
point.
like this dude is he's a hardware atoms guy, right? He moves atoms, right? But he also has, killer software plus killer AI. So
Hmm.
just think about just the benefits to Tesla being able to run all these other AIs through his machines that are only just going to improve Grok. It's what a position. So, and then obviously he's already selling compute in space ahead of time before the first AI satellites get out there. So it seems like the market is finding alternate ways to find power.
Hmm.
Um, Not saying that the power build out isn't going to be a thing. It definitely will be a thing. But it seems like because of how competitive the market is, everyone's scrambling to figure out a way to get these data centers up one way or the other.
Right.
And not to mention, I don't know if you remember, it was a story maybe like 3 months ago. It was a C-130 Hercules flying a small nuclear reactor into Utah.
Hmm.
If you look at AI as a whole and what's actually happening here, it seems like almost like a Manhattan level or Manhattan Project level uh, movement throughout the nation to win the AI race, and the military is helping transport these, these SMRs to locations for these data centers. And not to mention, I mean, a lot of these data centers are finding stranded energy, like windmill farms that are out in the middle of nowhere that are just charging batteries. So, I mean, I think Jordy is correct to be thinking that, yeah, there could be bottlenecks, but right now it doesn't seem like anything's slowing down in the semiconductor space.
Yeah, it's not going to be next week, you know, like.
Additionally, didn't Micron just hit $1 trillion value,
Mhm. Right.
which is also insane? So, I mean, it's something I'm watching. I put a stop loss on my chippy position just in case because it is a large position.
Mhm.
And I may actually up that stop loss because I don't think it's. I could probably even the stop loss I have will still make me a lot just on that
Right.
position.
Yeah, and also too to add on to the point of Micron, but Nvidia, did I just hear that they're thinking about giving a dividend here in the near future?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear that.
I heard I read that last week. Like a 25 cent or 22 cents or whatever dividend. Now I don't know when that's going to be, but they are talking about that. Um
Well, that's interesting because Larry Fink, I think from BlackRock, it was a month ago, said that there's a whole new class of assets which is just going to be centered around compute.
mhm.
Will be an asset class of its own, and
Right,
I
yeah, that's the
believe
asset. Yeah.
an income ETF just came out just specifically for compute. So I wonder if
Okay.
it's tied to that or if Nvidia is just going to do a dividend anyway.
The way I read the article, it was they were just going to do it anyway, just for their shareholders, you know. So
Crazy.
like, yeah, because they have like so much extra, I guess now, or like I don't know what I don't know the whole context, but I did read about a possible dividend here in the near future for Nvidia holders. But yeah, Adam, as far as the Frogs and Friends portfolio here, we are looking okay. Our cash is sitting at 20 owing 28,000 on margin. We do have 40,000 though still in buying power margin. Today we are up $800, give or take about a half a percent, and we are sitting at 107,000 $600 for our portfolio value. So our total gains ever since we started here, the past what 6 weeks, I guess now it's been
Wow.
2,200 in total capital gains, and that's not including dividends, guys. And then today's gain was $776. So, and as far as the dividends that we received, Adam, this week from blocks, we have over 1,100 shares and they paid out 11 cents. So that pushes us to $122. This past week, we got in dividends from blocks. Misty, we have 1,500 shares, and it was a little disappointing week this week in the payout, and they were only at 31 cents. So that was like basically cut in half from the week before, a couple previous weeks before. So we only got $470 worth of dividends this week from Misty. And then Chippy, 210 shares. We are looking at, or they gave 64 cents, and we are looking at $470 total. Or sorry, $134 total. And then the grand total for all of our holdings this week, we received $727 in dividends, Adam.
Although all of this sounds amazing, this is not financial advice.
What's kind of your thoughts on
It's
this
not. Well,
past
I
week?
mean, it's not bad. Misty, definitely. I mean, when I shared that to the group, I got a bunch of puke emojis because I mean, we went from 56 cents to 31 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but yeah, I don't. It's boggling the minds of pretty much everyone. Like, why is Bitcoin just getting shot? And like, it'll shoot up like it wants to go there, and then all of a sudden, then there's a major sale.
All right.
It's it's like I don't know what is going on in this world, but it's definitely telling you what's going on in the world. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know that kind of goes back to the point. Like, yeah, are we in a bear market? Are we just in a weird plateau here of a super cycle? Like no one really knows at the end of the day here. Some people
No,
like to
no one
say
knows.
they know, but yeah, I mean, I either way, it's still cheap sats to stack. Still a great stacking opportunity for anything in the Bitcoin sector.
Yeah,
And
hundred
just
percent.
going to the Misty point. Yeah, 31 cents. I mean, sure, like it sucks, but Micro or Strategy bought back all of their, or not all of it, but 1.5,
1.5 billion.
yeah,
Yeah.
billion of their convertible debt. So that's a big bull case here for Strategy in the near future, which will only help Misty. There's all kinds of good things that we are looking forward to here within the next 6 months, 6 to 12 months, and we'll hit some of these hiccups. Obviously, Strategy didn't really move much this past week, so didn't get much premium on the calls, and so we're gonna get a little bit less DV. I mean, still got a decent pool here, and we got over $700 this week, but it is the lowest week that we had so far, I believe, if I remember correctly. But I mean, that's kind of the game that we play a little bit, especially here in a down or bear market, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is this will turn around at some point.
Hmm.
No one knows when. And that's the crazy thing about Bitcoin. It's so unpredictable. It's ridiculous.
Hmm. But
Um,
when it's time to run, we'll be running.
oh yeah. And like we saw, just a little baby print from Misty at 50 cents, 60 cents starts really making a huge difference in your
Yeah.
portfolio.
Yeah. And obviously during a bull run, you're going to be getting like double, you're going to be looking at 60 cents plus a week per share plus the capital appreciation. Because obviously we
Yeah.
all believe
Yeah.
strategy's going to 1,000 plus, and
Uh-huh.
obviously Misty's going to capture some of that.
I could see over $1 a week in Misty easy.
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice. That would be back to the glory days of Misty, back
Mhm.
at all-time highs for Bitcoin. That kind
Yeah.
of that era. Um,
Yeah. So like right now is just stack it while it's cheap because
mhm,
this thing prints and it prints like crazy when it's hot. So
mhm.
yeah, I mean, look at it. You got it 22.73 right now. It's like it's almost enticing to pick up a couple more shares. To be honest with
I know. It is. It is. It's like we've seen this for the last year now. It's like God, every time Misty just does not want to move, but obviously that just goes to Bitcoin hasn't been moving. If anything, is moving the wrong way, and
you. Yeah.
same thing with strategy. But
Yep.
strategy is so bullish here, how they're setting up. Same thing with Strive, but strategy
Well,
as
the
well,
fact that they're telegraphing that they're going to be getting rid of all their convertible debt,
and
so they're
fucking up
moving
the
the
shorts.
yeah, and they're moving the way of Strive, right?
Hmm.
Completely debt free, complete Bitcoin raises off of prefs. I mean, no freaking brainer. There should be nobody putting puts on MicroStrategy. That's insane.
Yeah, yeah, you would think so, but apparently they're out there, and it's crazy to think about.
It feels like there is a concerted effort to try and keep MicroStrategy down, no matter
Mhm.
what, and Bitcoin in general. And clearly, I mean, it is a threat to the banking system. So,
Hmm. Yeah, I
like, Stretch is such a threat to the banking system. It's insane, dude. Like,
and it's crazy too when Michael Saylor was on that little tour there, what, a couple months ago, going to like all those big banks, and like I think a lot of it was to sell Stretch to them, like to
yeah,
be like, hey, this is gonna take you guys over. You're either gonna join us here or you're gonna get fucked
yeah,
with.
just start integrating it into your savings accounts right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
And especially once the Clarity Act gets passed, that's like the other thing that's then I think you will see a lot of these banks announcing that this was going on behind the scenes a little bit. At least like the
Uh,
prep work for it.
well, yeah, because I mean, they're so regulated. They have to have clear rules of the road. They
Mhm.
can't set up a massive apparatus to just get rug pulled. So,
Yep.
although they are setting it up, it's just a matter of like turning it on at this point.
Yeah. Yep. And Sailor says it's gonna be a fun Bitcoin summer. So,
Yeah, I think
so
so. I
yeah,
think he's right. I
there we
think he's
go with
right.
that July area you know, kind of estimation again.
If you want to escape the matrix, you need Bitcoin.
Adam, you wanted to add something to the portfolio here, and you mind talking about that here with Maro, which
Yeah.
is
So
which is the Mara
Morrow,
option yield max.
yes,
Fund.
exactly. So this one was struggling because it was strictly a Bitcoin mining company. And I believe in April they pivoted and purchased a AI data center,
Hmm.
because essentially, I mean, if you really think about it, right now, Bitcoin miners are struggling because they're just not making the fees. And Bitcoin miners right now, to make income, are having to sell their Bitcoin into the market. Well, we've seen quite a few different mining companies pivot a little bit and start um, either purchasing more GPUs to do AI training and or AI compute alongside mining Bitcoin so that they can start offsetting the cost of their running operationally
Mhm.
via AI compute. So Mara did a major buy. I think it was like a $1.5 billion purchase, somewhere around there, but it was pretty major. And that's going to start basically running their operation costs to where they can just hold Bitcoin specifically at these lower prices and let that appreciate on their balance sheet, kind of thinking about the same kind of concept as strategy where they're building these net assets to where they can leverage later in the future versus selling them. So yeah, I mean, I think this was a huge move for them, and you can see actually since April was like their big low there, but they are climbing out of it, and they've been climbing out of it ever since. So
Mhm.
yeah, $5 a share. What are we at? 678 now,
Yep.
and that pays a fairly decent dividend. So like a $7,000 investment pays you about 13 cents a share per week. So that's about $130 a share.
Yeah, that's
Um,
not bad.
that's not
Yeah,
bad. So
as long
what
as
is
it
that?
does, yeah, as long as it doesn't go down, if you believe that it's not going to go down anymore from here and into the like the reverse split territory, but even then, I mean, it's still not with these income funds. It's not that's not that big of a deal. It's not as scary
It's.
as it
I mean, you're
sounds.
saying okay. So 67. Let's just call it $6,800 investment. That's going to pay you. What is that? 260. Like five 520 a month.
Hmm.
I mean, what's the ROI on that? That's 10 months. That's 12
Yeah,
months ROI on 6,700, and then it's just free and clear. So
and
I
that's
mean,
and
it's
especially if
not
you're
taking a risk.
bullish. Yeah, especially if you're bullish on the data center front and also even on a Bitcoin mining
Yeah,
front.
well, if they're moving into AI compute, we know AI compute is just absolutely running. There's no shortage of demand on that front. So balancing out their Bitcoin mining with AI compute, I think is a pretty good bet. I think it's
Yeah,
a good
at least
there side.
yeah, especially like what you said, within the next year, in a year you should be getting most of your money, if not all your money back. You know,
Absolutely.
and do you see data centers running good? Maybe not like all-time highs, but just at least running good
I
here
see compute being
for the
data
next
center
year.
compute being needed for the next 10 years. The
Well,
demand
I
ain't.
agree too, but like even just based on an income fund, like what we've been through with Misty and stuff like that, like just based on like that kind of thinking alone, the bare minimum, like the worst that we could think of here, I think you're still going to be getting your money back here within a very reasonable amount of time, a year,
I
we'll
agree.
say.
I agree. Yeah.
Um, yeah, especially if you're bullish on the Bitcoin case and also on the data center case.
Right. Hey,
Yeah,
what's the
I
main
like it. I like it.
what's the maintenance on that? Is
I
it
think
security stuff?
On Robinhood, it's 25% if you have gold.
Oh, okay, even better. So
Yeah.
you're only adding, oh my gosh. So you're adding like 2,000 to your margin buffer.
Right. Yeah, it's not yeah, I'll check it here once more, but last time I checked it was 25% because that's the only reason why I kind of sorry, it's 30%. But
Okay. Well, that's
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, still not 50 plus percent, you know.
So you're 3,000 or no, it's
Yeah,
2,000 to your margin
yeah.
buffer.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I like it and another point as to why we kind of dig it too is Trump recently came out and said that he's invested in it. And like there's a thing like obviously like with Intel and whatever Trump's been invested like that the cabinet has been in, like Trump's cabinet and like where they just come out and say, "Hey, we are investing this or going to take stake
Yeah.
in this or whatever." And it's very easy to follow this and find out what they're doing and they just come out and tell you too. But everything that they've been doing has been kind of rocketing here this past
Oh,
year.
kinda. I mean, look at Intel. That's insane.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, came back from the dead.
Yeah. So I mean, look, if anybody knows what the hell is going on in this world, it's those guys. And the cool thing about this is they're not just trading for themselves; they're telling everybody else to trade it too.
Yeah, this is where we're going for the
That's
next
so
three
crazy.
years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, and that's another like cherry on top is to be like, okay, I can see at least us getting our investment back at least, within
absolutely.
a reasonable amount of time, which is a year
Yep.
for these income funds, yield max funds anyway. So yeah, we did end up picking up 1,000 shares, so that's a pending trade here for us, so that should be coming through here very soon. At 676, well, that's the current price, and I would imagine it's going to push that through here for us. So, but yeah, so we'll have that to look forward to next week. We have now a sixth holding. Anything else? I mean, do we kind of want to sit on the rest of the portfolio here and see where we're at next week, or what are you thinking, Adam?
Um. Well, I mean, again, Misty is kind of cheap right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Right?
know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
care.
know.
Like even like 10, 20 shares, 50 shares. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, where are we at here? Say that
like
we just
decent.
spent 67 here on 6,700 on
Yeah,
Morrow.
so 6,700.
And then,
We've got
so we're roughly around 32,000 in buying power yet.
well, so 100 shares would be what, 2,200 bucks?
Yeah. You want to do that?
Kinda.
Push it
I,
down the
I
line. Yeah,
I
but
hate
no,
it, man. Like
I know,
you
because
know,
like in a month or two from now, we're gonna be like, we should have just pushed it to the line here. Push it to the line.
yeah,
Yeah, I
probably.
know, I know. And that's how we kind of
But you got to be safe. You can't be stupid.
exactly. And
Because we've been through the misty downturn, and it's a bitch.
it is. Yeah, you gotta.
You better be super careful and have some reserves just in case for shit like that. Because
Mhm. Yeah, and that's the only thing because I think with this portfolio, everything's 50% on the margin, Kate, on the margin. So that's why I'm a little bit lenient or a little bit hesitant on
oh yeah,
picking up so much
yeah.
because it's not 25% like it is for us on Robinhood. It's 50%. And but I am all right, let's do 20. You want to do 25? We'll do 25. How's that?
25 shares.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Just because I don't want to like log in here one day and you know Michael Saylor dilutes even more and we just hit a downturn and we're like, what the hell is going on?
I,
Uh,
I I think I don't know. Did you end up seeing what his last $25,000 or 25,000 Bitcoin purchase was spread out at? Like how much
Today.
was it stretch? How much was
Um,
stretch and how much was common?
yeah, I did read the post. Oh my gosh.
I didn't see it. I was just curious if you saw it.
It was between Strife, I think, Stretch, and Common.
Oh, okay.
I from because I think I was looking at Dan Hillary's post and I seen the three of those tickers and then him talking about the buys today. So I like I said, I didn't dive too deep into it. I just seen the front there. But all right, we'll pick up 25. So that's about $500. That makes it feel like we're still doing something. Okay. Even though we didn't go all in there, but
So
no,
that, just to
I think we're doing okay though. We're doing just fine.
yeah. So just to clarify for the audience, so it was like what about 600, which means 300 goes to maintenance
Hmm.
in this app. Like I think in reality it's like 35%, so it would be like
Right.
200. But
Right. Yep. Yeah, because just here, as you see, the total value, the buying power here is the total value of your cash and margin accounts that can be used to make trades, calculates as cash plus long stocks by 50% maintenance. Shorted,
yeah,
if you short the stock, then it's 150% maintenance. So, all right, Adam, I think we did get Morrow here
all right, there we
at
go.
676. So there we go. We are in the game here with Morrow and might just have to be in the game for me in real life as well here very shortly.
I'm thinking I'm going to take it. I keep talking about it.
Oh, I
I
thought you
just
did. Okay. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm kind of in the same boat with you.
our buddy Francis jumped into it. I think a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
and he's
and
just
Ryan as well. He jumped in.
Ryan too. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they certainly got the better of the number as of right now. But I mean, yeah, it all depends where you think it's going to go. That is really how bullish you are on it. If you think it's going to 12, 20, like wherever you think Mara is going,
Well,
then
if you think, I mean, so if you think about it this way, right? So our portfolio right now, we're basically splitting between semiconductor and Bitcoin,
yeah,
all of which needs each other. So, like, Bitcoin needs silicon just as much as AI.
yeah,
So that's how we're split. So, like, think of Morrow as literally that split. It's Bitcoin mining and AI
yeah,
data.
yeah, and that's kind of yeah. It's just a more concentrated play on blocks a little bit, because like blocks has everything of that, of
Yeah,
the
yeah. So it's
semis,
like
the
split
AI,
out.
and the Bitcoin. So like, but yeah, Mario's just playing a more detail or like a more hands-on on something more specific, obviously, because it is a
Yep.
single ticker. Uh,
Yeah, that's why, like, so that's why I brought up that Larry Fink piece, because him talking about compute itself being its own asset class. I mean, Morrow
that
is
is
the very
fucking crazy.
definition.
He came out and said that.
Yeah, dude, that's the very definition. Morrow is the very definition of compute as an asset.
Yeah. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we'll put in some buys here tonight. So,
Yeah, I might too, dude. I might
and like you
I might
said, man,
stop.
it is pretty cheap. It is enticing. I mean, not that necessarily the price for income funds is really like that big of a deal. Um, I yeah, I especially when you think that it's going up.
Well, no, it's not, but it is from a
Marginal.
margin perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 100. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you're just buying cash, basically, uh, it is, but it isn't. It's weird. Like it's kind of hard to explain. On the cash front, but when you're using margin 100%, though, yeah, yeah, I
Hmm.
agree with you 100%. But
Well,
yeah,
um, go ahead. Well, I was gonna leave off. It sounds like we're probably wrapping up here.
yeah, yeah.
I was gonna leave off just kind of with a way of thinking about stock trading.
Hmm.
Um, so Crash has bought and sold businesses. I've bought and sold businesses. And when you're getting into stocks and things like that, it is essentially the same vetting process.
Yeah,
If you're buying a real business, like if it's a card shop on the street or a gym or a service, whatever it may be, you still have to do your due diligence on every single business. Stock trading is the exact same thing. Like, hey, if you're going to buy a stock in that business, you need to understand, like, what is its revenues? What are their customer base? How long is that revenue set to be set up for them, like from a contractual basis, like 10
yeah.
years or whatever it may
Balance
be.
sheets, earnings
Balance
calls. You
sheet,
got to be there for that.
what their debt is. This is why MicroStrategy's debt is such a big deal, because
Hmm.
basically they're asset heavy, but not revenue heavy. They're not revenue heavy because their software business is basically a very small fraction of the value of that company. So you have to look at all those things when you're going into stocks. Now that's just from buying a business itself, like buying the stock itself. But now when you're in income funds, what you're doing is you're buying someone's options trades over a business of which you feel has high volatility,
Hmm.
because that high volatility brings in a lot of players, a lot of shorts and a lot of longs.
A lot of liquidity. Hmm.
So these income funds, um, so I'll use Misty as an example. Misty is betting, all their options are betting that the price is going to go up. And then you have the inverse of that, which is Winter,
Yes.
which is betting that the price is going to go down. So there's a lot of different hedges you can think about in the Bitcoin space. I think the reason why we're not even touching Winter right now is because Winter is still overpriced. Like, we
Hmm.
need to get back to all-time highs, and then when Winter is like at a
In the
discount, maybe,
teens. Yeah.
yeah, start adding a little bit there, here and there. Um, but that's why I think with this portfolio right here, we're just basically balancing it out while we're waiting for Bitcoin to wake up and do its thing. We're hitting semiconductors because that's where the entire market's going. The volatility's there, the volume's there.
Right. Now, looking here, Adam, we are getting kind of close as far as winter prices because this is the last year, and we are down at the lowest we've
Oh
been
shit! Look at that.
at 23. So I mean,
Oh, go 5 year real quick. I just want
okay.
to see it because I know it doesn't go back that far, but
So yeah, that was when
wow,
was
look at
this?
that.
March of 25. So yeah, and we are pretty low here, and that's actually kind of crazy because of how low strategy is too.
Well, and
Um,
it's also because I think it's a higher yield payout, right?
yes,
They're not
yeah,
really
that
giving a
plays
shit
a
too
part in it.
much
Yep.
about NAV. So like those are other things you need to be looking at too. Is what is the payout ratio? Is it paying more towards towards dividends versus trying to preserve the NAV?
Hmm.
Because a lot of those things are important when you're dealing with margin.
Yeah, and that's what that was one of the things I was looking at here with Morrow too, like as far as like reverse split and stuff like that, because like we are close to that line here. If Yield
And
Max
they've
wants to,
never and they've
yeah,
never done it.
I know that's what's crazy because like the last 3 months they could have really done it with when they did Misty, when they did Tesla again, like they did a bunch of other ones and they kind of left Morrow there alone. That
Yeah.
that surprised the hell out of me. Like looking back there at that, and I don't know if they're just so bullish that they think on it that it's like gonna recover. And I will be the first to tell you I think Misty will be able to recover. They shouldn't
I
have
do too.
messed with that, but I mean, you can't really change anything now. But yeah, and that kind of gives me a little bit of hope there for Morrow though too. Like just to stay. Why didn't they touch that?
Well,
That's so
dude, the entry point is not scary either. I mean,
yeah.
1,000 shares at 67, 6,800. I mean,
Yeah, and
that's not
and
really going to move your margin around too much.
also too, I think we should touch on that in the next roundtable because we're going to touch a little bit on margin, and I want to get Meta and Ryan's take and whoever joins this week on their take also on the reverse splits on income funds and how like it affected them with Misty and also how it affected us and stuff. And I want to touch
Oh
on
yeah,
that a little bit here.
yeah,
Especially since we're all kind of really starting to look at Morrow here now. So that'd be a
yeah.
perfect way to kind of flesh that out. So Adam, I think that pretty much wraps us up for today and for this week on the portfolio angle. But we're looking all right there, my man. We're up 2,700 just in gains and plus not even counting the dividends. So we are looking okay.
I mean, look at our rank out of 2.8 million people, our players.
Hmm.
It's still
Yeah,
really good, man.
exactly. Yeah, we went down a little bit, but I mean the portfolio is still going higher. So we're doing we're still winning. We're just not beating these uh people that have literally everything in the stock market, which we see in
Yeah,
the last video. This guy had like 300 plus holdings, the whole S 500. Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, but no, we're
insane.
heading the right way, man. We're looking all right. So all
All
right.
right, brother.
Yeah,
Well,
sounds
cool.
good. So, guys, let us know in the comments what you guys are picking up this week, what you guys are looking at, and also possibly getting rid of. So, until next time, guys, stay out of that collateral damage. That's Adam. I'm Crash, and we will see you guys later.
See ya.